prisoner of the past, though I know that things don't last. I'm going home, but I don't know the way. If I'm lucky, I'll live halfway. If I'm unlucky, I only have today. What kind of plan is this?
Last time on Kingmaker, or should I say the adventure part of Kingmaker, last time we actually had a kingdom turn. But instead of what I thought we were going to do last week, I think what we'll do this session is we'll actually do a bit of adventuring first before we get back into the kingdom management system. I'm down for a little bit of adventuring. So let's see what the party get up to with their shenanigans, because last time there was indeed shenanigans. They wrapped up the Isle of Candlemere and, well, they proceeded to head back to Regrove. The Leshy Guardian of Candlemere, Granger, left the island, stating that they had recalled that they had 2 missions there on the island. The first was to guard the place and to ensure not anybody reached the chambers below. The second was something else. Something something Granger can't quite remember. They had to look after something, and it is connected to the strange seal of Pharasma that seals the lower chambers. So Granger is headed out into the Stolen Lands to search for that second duty. Meanwhile, the player characters had their horses nicked. No other way to call it. They went back to the spot where they tied up the horses and discovered that they had been taken. After a bit of adventuring, it was the party found out that the horses were stolen by 5 trolls. Wondering what the hell's is going on, and realizing that this was not usual troll business, this was not a hunt. The horses were actually stolen, which is not usual troll MO. They headed back to Regrove, and they have decided to recuperate, rethink, and sort out their next plan of action. And that's where we'll bring the gang back in. Alright everyone, welcome back to Regrove. I will say, for the sake of ease and comfort, you're all fully regenerated back to full health. You are rested, you're fixed up, and you're good to go as a new day dawns on the Stolen Lands. It's Oath Day, Serenith 10th, 4710 Absalon Reckoning. The day has just begun. Let's quickly review where you're at in the game / the story, because now we're going to go back to some more traditional Kingmaker. What I mean by that is the Stolen Lands and the world is your proverbial Easter egg. The quest log details that you have 2 current active quests at this time. The first quest is what happened to your horses, which has been named Grand Theft Bronco. And also, thank you very much.
Damn. No comment.
And the second quest has been nicknamed More Than One Enemy, and that is the warning that the Black Tears gave you after you faced them the second time. So that is currently in your quest bank. And also, you have some loot. Loot to be given to you by Felix Quinn, who, for assisting him with this whole thing at Candlemere, if you go into the stash section of your party character sheet, Felix presents you the loot in question. 2 items which he identifies for you. First is an aerial cloak, which can give you a +1 item bonus to athletics checks to leap, and a +1 item bonus to acrobatics checks to balance, and maneuver in flight, with also a featherfall-like ability in case of falling from dangerous heights. And then something a bit more fancy, a cloak of repute, an extravagant cloak which is adorned with brilliant gems and a fur trim. Jack can attest to this. He's played War for the Crown. This pretty much, he's heard of War for the Crown. This pretty much is a standard thing you get in Taldor, this sort of finery, because, you know, this will give you a +1 item bonus to diplomacy checks to make an impression. But because this cloak is so out there, creatures attempting to learn about you in return also get the same bonuses.
Oh.
But it does come with a nifty power. So, that's all from me. It's literally back over to you all. The floor is yours.
Well, seems most logical that I'm sorry, I've forgotten what title we gave to the Balruk.
Jarl.
Jarl. Seems to me that our dear Jarl could probably do with wearing the regal cloak of repute that much befits a leader.
I suppose, though, it's a bit flashy, don't you think?
Well, that's the point, Balruk.
Oh, I reckon we can at least take the gems out. I mean, where are we making gems around here?
I don't know, the gems were kind of my favourite part, to be honest.
Suit yourself. Well,
Alright.
try it on then.
Alright. And you'll kind of grumble the whole time as he tries to click on.
So, I'm going to take a little bit of creative license here. I don't do this very often, but I'm going to do this for this cloak, and I'll tell you why. This is like some High Helm style art. It just works. We've all seen that high fantasy artwork. The dwarf with the axe in hand, fine armor, fine helmet, cloak. You look like that, Balruk. You do look like the Jarl.
You know, I think I can get used to this.
Wonderful. As for the aerial cloak, I'm not sure. I could see use on that for all three of us.
I'm gonna fly. It'll be as a bird. I won't need a cloak for that.
Fair point.
Now I've just got an image in my head of BB wearing the cloak. sorry.
Super bear.
Super bear.
I think that would
Ted.
be a burial cloak.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I think Greg's just left us again. Right.
I'm here.
Well, it sounds like that one's either you or me, Leoven.
No good to me.
Well, I suppose I'll wear it. At the very least, it offers me a quick escape if I'm cornered up on a sniping spot.
I could have done with jumping from tree to tree in the old sniping battle you got yourself in.
Whilst that would be wildly entertaining, I'm sure, I think the only way I'm making it from tree to tree is if they're very close and I vault. But the cloak might help.
It's interesting though, because even when Isobella puts on the cloak, it's kind of weird. Maybe this is her early life background, or maybe this is something to do with those training to be a sword lord days. It also fits her uniquely well. Like, you own it. Even if you don't deliberately do it. It's just, you know when you look at someone and it's just like, yeah, that works.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picturing that for you and Balruk. So, loot distributed. What's
Speaking of loot,
next?
what do we want to do with that +1 living leaf weave that I hauled all the way back here?
Oh, right. We'll be tearing the runes off of that and putting them on something more useful, I think.
I'll put it in the party stash for now, so we have it here in storage, because it's giving me a lot of weight.
Good idea.
It would actually be very good for me, but I'm not wearing something. I'm not wearing his cloak. I'm not doing it.
Well, here's the thing about that. Because I must admit, I did partly design that piece of loot for you in mind, Anden. Now, if you don't want to do it because of RP reasons, that's cool and that's badass. But as I've said in other games before, I'm going to be plain. And I don't mean this in a mean way, but this game is reliant on those magical items. So, yeah, if things start getting a bit too narky, then just be aware that you have the option of those magical items.
Can I do some sort of purification ritual?
Well, I'll tell you what, and that's actually wove this into the story. Give us... Yeah, because this would be druidic. Anden, because I can't recall... Well, actually, let me look at the party sheet. Anden, what's your law skill?
Forest.
Forest law. Okay. In that case then, open, just give me a straight up nature roll then, because this is like druidic knowledge looking at this thing. There's something about it.
Yeah. That is a 23.
Okay, on a 23, you look at it, Anden. This wasn't Newgrass. He was wearing it? Yeah, sure, but this is new. And I'm talking newer than new. It's like there's something about it.
So,
This was given to him. This is because you used to be the druids of the region, and even when, so to speak, you were at the height of your prowess and powers, none of you ever worn garb like this. This is a step up, i.e., this is something he could not have possibly, nor even you back in the original heydays, had access to.
So someone with money is working with him. Okay. In which case, yeah, myself and my little circle that I'm starting, so it's probably only like 2 scrawny lads who like digging. My apprentice druids. We're gonna do a little ritual blessing that doesn't do anything, but it's like kind of getting his stink off a little bit. I've got dispel magic and stuff.
There's nothing.
So
Yeah, I will say with the 23 as well, and with enough time, there is nothing mechanically wrong with the garb.
okay.
So-
Alright.
Oh, sorry to cut in, but I'm just going to say, etching ruins, removing potential curses. You know what this is all sounding like to me? This is sounding a bit like downtime mode.
I'll be.
This is one of the fair few campaigns in the current Pathfinder line that you may be able to actually pull off the legitimate downtime mode. So I'll tell you what, let's actually do that. Let's say there's a week to start. So Anden, for your downtime, you want to establish your circle. If everyone's down for downtime, of course, but from what you're describing so far, this is what it's actually sounding like to me. It's sounding like downtime. So would the party actually be down for that? Apologies for the presumption there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
I'm happy to, yeah.
Okay, so Anden, do you want to spend a week then with your circle and teaching them some of the basics and purifying this robe?
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe we can get them learning some cantrips of some kind.
Okay, then what I'm going to rule is this is going to be the equivalent of a earn income roll. Because maybe what you do is in these duties, maybe you do some things for the people of regrowth as well. You know, you want to teach. Yeah, you got to teach them cantrips. So I'll tell you what. As you are performing druid, let's call it druidic duties, because regrowth is all about melding of society and nature with a little bit of structure and a little bit of tradition. So I'll tell you what, because you are a druid, this will be a level 5 task. I'm going to say help out the people around the settlement. And then give me a nature roll.
Okay. Let's be the wise woman, the wise dwarf.
The wise one.
Yeah. Cool. That is a 32.
Okay. Based off the level 5 DC of 20, you are once again nailing those critical successes. So, for 7 days worth of druidic duties, the people of regrowth actually come together very, very nicely. And they put a donation, let's say the party's loot sheet, we'll say that it's proverbially regrowth's funds, but for mechanical sake, we'll say it's the party's loot sheet. They're going to stick in to the regrowth funds box a total of 7 gold pieces.
Hell yeah. Do you want me to add that on, or you? No, you got it. Cool.
Yep, I've got that for you. And also, not only that, but on a critical success, you teach your circle some basics, you show them some rites, and you work together to purify that leaf weave that was given to you by Nugra. Not only from a ritualistic standpoint, in terms of tradition, is the weave now completely purified, but you get something else. Your circle discovers, working with you, that this weave is of Fae make. This was created by a Fae.
Oh, it's all coming together. Who or what is he working with?
All right. So there is a +1 rune that needs to be transferred from that armor, or do you want to keep that or do you want to keep that +1 in there for Anden?
Gimme.
Yeah, leave it for Anden.
All right then. So Anden has the +1 leaf weave. So downtime. Now, like most of Pathfinder 2e, it's a top-down system, works in time increments. With downtime, it's generally a period of a week, and how it works now is, I'm not sure if this is a change from the player's core, because I've only done downtime a handful of times, but I know activities like retraining now, which includes feats and which includes feats and skills, only takes a week now. So if there's something you're not happy with, you can also readjust on that front as well. Does anybody else have anything they wish to do for the week?
I mean, Balruk is probably just doing a lot of politicking. On the Kingdom turn side, we made a lot of like trade agreements and things like that. So he's probably shaking hands and signing contracts all week.
Kissing babies.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
All right. All right then, Balruk. In that case, let's test your new cloak out if you've taken it. Let's also get
Indeed.
let's also to get your some earned income on your behalf, for your Jarl duties. Then maybe coordinating with diplomats. Give us a diplomacy roll then, please.
All right. Is this making an impression where I can get a +1 item bonus?
Yes, this will count.
All right. Here we go. You want a public?
Yeah. Diplomacy's always public.
Oh, interesting. How about a natural 20 for a 30?
Oh, mate.
Oh, right.
I should actually get 31. I don't know why I like him as a 30.
Yeah, the whole kingdom like diplomacy arc, we rolled unreasonably well. Like the DCs were like 17.
And that's
flat D20. Boom, boom, boom.
also, there should have been a +1 from your cloak in there as well, Balruk.
I know, I actually told it to put it. I think I forgot to hit the add button.
Ah, gotcha. So that's technically a 31. Okay, so you do outstanding work, gain the amount of money for lists of blah 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 blah. Right, got it. So, Anden, I technically got wrong. So hold on a second, let me figure this out. Okay, Anden, for your outstanding work, you actually earn 14 gold pieces. And for your outstanding work, Balruk, over the week, you earn another 14.
Sweet.
So 28 gold in the party stash. So what does this look like? What does Balruk do over the week then?
I think Balruk comes in with a very strong air of confidence. He gained a lot like on this last trek even, and kind of a new understanding of his role and the importance of acting like a strong leader. And so he goes into every meeting or every confrontation with his head held high. He has his new cloak that's kind of given him some charisma as well. And he's just shaking hands. He's remembering people's names. He's treating every meeting like it's the most important meeting he's had today. And I think he's just impressing a lot of people and just really getting into stride in his role.
May I suggest a little addition? Since we've been having the communal kind of druidic thing where we came together, was there like some sort of actual inauguration ceremony that tied that together, and we got the
And it all came together.
like a sick speech?
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
So, okay, so there was an inauguration of Anden's little circle, which is slowly starting to grow. You met some diplomats from Ravoy, and all of them together, it's almost like the establishment of the circle. Maybe that was kind of like a, real world equivalent, hosting a golf or some form of tournament to, charm potential investors, or in this case, it was like a show, like, this is what regrowth is about. Come and see, come and learn about us, and this is what we're going to be.
The forest doesn't grow from a single seed. That's why we need you to join us and, like, grow this flourishing community and all that stuff.
Oh, no, okay. I like it. So, well, also, you're technically the counselor, aren't you, Anden?
Yeah.
So I think that works together quite well for the Jarl and the counselor, doesn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome stuff. All right.
There is something else Balruk does want to look into during the week.
Yeah.
I noticed the Dwarven Battle Axe is not in the party stash, but it should be stored somewhere in Regrove, right?
It is. Oh, that's my bad. I didn't put it back in there. Hold on a second. I will do that for you now.
Yeah, all good.
No worries. But yes, I will put your old Dwarven War Axe, right?
Yep.
There we go. That's back in. Oh, come on. Behave. There we go. It's back in there for you.
Yeah, I think we'd get this interesting scene where shortly after coming back, Balruk could kind of like go to his, his private room or whatever he has, and like rummage through his chest and pull the axe out, polish it back up again, make sure it's, well tended to and all that. And then he'd kind of take some like practice swings and stuff with it, and just kind of look down at the axe and kind of shake his head and kind of end up wrapping it back up and putting it up, because there's a part of him that wants to be able to use this like family axe as his weapon, but it just doesn't fit comfortably with him for some reason.
Fair. That's more than fair. I like that a lot. All right. The week is rolling on. Kelvhan, Isobella, anything you want to do for downtime during this week?
I think Kelvin will send a letter to VC and Associates.
Okay, right. What are you sending in this letter? Is it private?
It is a private letter, but mostly it is that regrowth has been established, trade agreements have been made, and things are beginning to be moved.
Okay, in that case, give us a, because it's your it's the organization you're a part of. Just give me an open diplomacy check with a +4 circumstance bonus.
Plus?
Yes. Okay.
Set that. Cool. 23.
All right. That's a regular success. So VC and Associates are informed, and you actually receive a sending spell over the week, Kelvhan. Your letter is closer to the end of the week where the letter just gets there. You send out somebody quick, somebody fast. Not as fast as you, of course, but hey. And you get a sending spell at the end of the week. And the spell says, trying to remember the word limit. Right, there you go. It says, the voice of Miss Scala once again returning. Received. Acknowledged. Will head to regrowth soon. For establishment. Be aware. There is activity in the Strewn family. And that's it. You know the organization well enough to know that the reason why Miss Scarlet didn't say any more is because it requires more than a sending spell. It's going to be something that will probably need to be heard out loud over a proper conversation.
Alrighty.
Okay, fantastic stuff. Isobella, anything for the week on your end?
I don't have downtime. Downtime? I don't have downtime to do. I have alchemical formulas I need to order.
Awesome. All right. So, just a shopping week for you then?
Specifically, it's a formula I need, so I may need to send off for that or something. I'm not sure what you're going to say here.
Yeah, go for it. What formula is it?
It is a common formula, an alchemical ammunition formula called elemental ammunition.
Common or uncommon?
Common.
It's common. Okay.
And if I can get both, there's also one called Bane ammunition.
All right. In that case, let's think about this. You do have a trade agreement with Restov, so, and Restov's a pretty big place. So if it's common, it's technically available. Let's see. Bane ammunition and elemental ammunition. Is it within your level, these items as well?
They are first level items.
Then technically, by the rules of the game, gunslingers are not too common around the Stolen Lands and around this part of the world, the River Kingdoms. So let's think about... I think... I would say you could probably certainly order the components. Right, ruling. You can get them, but it's going to take you all week because, well, it will take a couple of weeks for them to come in because rest of... Yeah, it's getting the message up there and for them to come down.
That's... sorry, when I say formula, I mean this is like the crafting recipe that I need to be able to create them myself.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, because the way I'm thinking about it is, as gunslingers are not too common in the River Kingdoms, they are known but they're rare.
Yeah. I just for like, sorry to cut you off again.
No, do it.
These aren't specifically gun ammunition. The Bane ammunition and elemental ammunition are there, come on, brain. For any kind of ranged weapon. They're not specifically bullets.
Right. Okay. I'm completely with you. Yep. I'm thinking along the same lines of my trail. Yep. You're with me on this trail of thought. Because where I was going to go with this was you could get the formula and then it would be a case of you would have to put it together.
Reverse engineering it for a bullet, yeah.
Pretty much. Okie dokie. In that case then, yeah, I would say that would take... Yeah.
Yeah, that's my week.
I was going to say that would be your week, but I'm even if it's just the formula, it would take you a couple of weeks for it to come down.
All right.
Okay, but you can do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on.
No worries. Okay, so I believe that is everyone sorted for downtime then. Isabella has ordered some new ammunition. That won't get here for another week. So literally, as I was saying at the top, it's literally your Easter egg, your oyster. So do you want to take another week of downtime, or do you want to get more back into exploration, active play? It's literally all on you.
I mean, I'm down for another week of downtime to wait for the ammo, but I do think we need to go have a chat with our spy master and find out what they found out about this threat potentially within our own kingdom, though. I don't think we want to let that sit for 2 weeks.
100%.
So maybe go talk to her, and as long as that's going well, then we can always chill another week.
All right then. So the date is now actually, let's change it up. It's actually now Serenif 17th. Still. Yes. Okay. So a week passes, you do your thing in regrowth, and then the following Oath Day, you search out for Mauricio. She comes to you. What are you saying to her?
Well, we'll definitely go meet with her somewhere private. Like, I'm assuming she's probably got like an office or something she works out of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's go. Well, just checking in to see how the whole search for possible threat from within is going.
She looks at you, Balruk, and she says, well, my dear Jarl, I must admit, what's that old saying? Boy once, shame on me. Trick me twice, not bloody happening. I've been keeping my ears to the floor and... well, I have heard some murmurings. It seems like the other group who you have seemingly pissed off is actually a group you don't know about, but you have an intricate connection to. Do you remember what this place used to be?
An old temple or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Dedicated to Gyronna.
That an orc deity?
No. And to be perfectly honest, maybe you're gonna wish it was. Gyronna? With my wife Kyra, we've had some dealings with Gyronna before. She ain't no Baba Yaga. Or maybe she likes to think she is. But Gyronna is technically the goddess of hags.
Wonderful.
Also known as the Angry Hag.
Okay.
Her areas of concern include extortion, spite, and hatred. Pure unadulterated hatred.
Well, those sound like the best kind of people to piss off, if you ask me.
When we piss off people, we do it to the best of our abilities.
Well,
honestly, they should be thanking us, right? Because we give them a chance to flex the whole spite domain.
Well,
I'm glad the rest of you find this funny.
Oh, it's not funny. This is just how I cope with bad news.
Oh, don't worry. I do the same. You either throw a quip or, quite frankly, you, panic. However, Isobella is right. Gyronna and her clergy are not ones you want to, mess with. Not a very popular deity. Many fear her and her clergy, which is entirely female for the record. They're not exactly an official organization, their priesthood. There's no canon or book or scripture, not even temples. This place where the Stag Lords fought was a exception to the rule. They usually favor small shrines or simple pile stones. Some of these stones have gemstones on them, cat's eyes on top. But in this case, apparently, the Stag Lord's old fort, coordinating with Felix here, was actually an attempt to establish a proper temple here in the Stolen Lands. It's quite frankly in the middle of nowhere, so they would be away from prying undisturbed eyes. Then, working with Felix some more over the past week, I discovered the final fate of the cultists who operated that temple. Seems like Gyronna herself struck them down. We found underneath some of the old foundations literally mass graves of Gyronna cultists. Heaven knows, if you had strayed off that path when you approached the Stag Lord's fort, you probably would have been bombarded with the undead. Which would have happened to you, by the way. But you stayed on the road.
Is that something we're going to need to clear up? Because that means it's right near where we're establishing a town here.
Don't worry.
Missed a chance for XP.
Yeah. Don't worry.
It's a grinding field.
Don't worry. We've taken care of it, and, well, even the rest of forces who initially helped us through Lady Jamande's promise, they helped deal with the situation as well. But we looked at the remains and we found some, well, a journal. Apparently, the cultists, clergy, whatever you want to call them, that tried to reside here, they moved away from Gairona's teachings and, well, let's just say Gairona's MO, preferring a quieter, more comfortable life, and she struck them down, eliminated them, and cursed them herself.
Well, spite is her thing.
Yet,
Cutting off her nose to spite her face?
that's the thing. According to whispers in the underground, there has been religious activity recently of the nefarious kind, and I discovered some news that over the past several years, Gairona cultists have slowly gathered in strength and coin to try and reclaim the site. Even before the Stag Lord moved in there, they wanted to take the temple back because, well, it was their first temple. It was a hell of a thing, I suppose. But the Stag Lord moved in. No mercs wanted to take the job. But you have just basically done the job for them. And she kind of holds out her hands in an expression of, can you see where this is going?
Right, so I'm guessing they want the site back.
Mm-hmm.
What are the chances you could get a messenger to them if you wanted to meet with them diplomatically?
Oh, I must admit, discovering their nefarious plots I can do, but that sort of thing, as it's a religious group, that's not exactly my wheelhouse. I don't... If Cairo is here, she probably would be more suited to help you, but I'm not. I can discover the threats. I can sometimes sabotage the threats, but reaching out to the threats, I'm more of a preemptive striker, if you think of it that way.
Do you know where they are?
That is unfortunately going to take more time. The whispers say that they want this site back, and according to the Black Tears, from what you told me, they're already here, so they're probably using subterfuge of some kind. But trying to... I know we're only small right now, but still, that's going to take more time to make sure, especially, we don't potentially involve anyone who is innocent in all of this.
Well, if you find out where they are, or you can find a way to get any kind of message to them, it'd be nice if we could at least attempt a diplomatic solution before we just all start killing each other.
Well, you can try, but as I said, you'll need to speak to someone who is more religiously inclined about this.
And they call that a religion. It's a blight on our lands, that's what it is. I'll talk to him first, but I'm not going to come unarmed.
Probably won't go any further, especially if their domain is spite.
We do need to remember, though, that in a way they were here first. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be giving them any part of our land as regrowth. Well, maybe we can negotiate something, give them some far out the way place, they stay there out the way, we stay here. We can all leave each other alone.
Well, I'm not so sure about that, Balruk, because I've just remembered something else. Because GM here has just found out Gyrona's domains for 2E as well. Those old domains were for 1E, or yeah. The GM here, I will tell you what Gyrona's domains are, and you can translate them into the lore of our story. So, I know the old alignment system is out the window, but I'm going to use it here just for the sake of ease and clarity and give you a quick understanding of what you're dealing with. So, in 1E, to be a cleric of Gyrona, you could only be chaotic evil.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
The domains included chaos, destruction, evil, and madness, with subdomain availability of demon, insanity, nightmare, and rage.
Okay, so no diplomacy.
No.
In the
Never mind.
when the 2E
Retract that statement.
when,
Just pull it on back.
when the alignment system was still around in 2E, you still had to be chaotic evil, but they did allow neutral evil people this time around. And yeah, the domains were slightly different because the domains have changed, but they're probably not as nice. The first one's ambition. Not too bad.
Okay.
Zeal.
That.
Tracks. Then there's pain.
Oh.
Oh.
And then there's nightmares.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
All right, never mind on the diplomacy.
Diplomacy. What is diplomacy?
To reiterate, a blight on our land.
Just burn them out. It'll be fine.
Well, let us know when you find them then.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, sod it. We've gone this far. So, do you want to know what the Edicts and the Anathema is?
Oh, bring it on.
Do it.
Here we
Let's go.
go.
Okay, Edicts. Expose hypocrisy in others and make others miserable. Demand bribes to spare others from your torments. Anathema. Allow others to slight you without retaliation. Seek the approval of society. Forgive those you have wronged.
Oh, for
Right,
God's sake.
okay, no diplomacy then. Got it.
No.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Understood.
Did you say forgive those you have wronged?
Forgive those.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't forgive those who have wronged you.
Okay, that makes slightly more sense.
So no Oath of Redemption champions in there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right,
Although it would have been very funny to live in a world where you don't forgive people who you managed to get one over on.
Like,
I'll never
how
forgive
dare
you for
you let
falling
me
for
get
my
one
trap.
over on you?
Oh, great.
Isn't that spite?
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Her domain is Mulaveri. No, sorry. I know
Machiavelli.
I know the domain personally via lore. I've always had a thing trying to pronounce it. Mulavellera? It's in the Outer Rift anyway.
Oh.
Yeah. That's not good.
Well, let's just retract all of our previous statements.
Yeah. What I'll actually say is maybe we get a swipe scene and you actually seek out Old Bear, the former Jihad Kafkan, and he's the one who fills you in on the intricacies of the domains, the edicts, and the anathemas as he looks at you all and says, are you, and what Mauriciel has told you is they're here in regrowth?
Seems so.
He looks up and he says something in Wild Song which only Anden can understand, but for those watching, as I've mentioned before, I like translating and picturing these games like a TV show and movie. Translation text pops up and it just says, oh shit. Then he composes himself and says, oh dear. What is it you intend to do?
Well, I imagine like most things we do, it's gonna turn into a fight.
Well,
Undoubtedly.
I am not one for violence or encouraging violence, but Well, for this instance, you may not have a lot of choice. They worship a very... I know the concepts of good and evil are objective, but there's always exceptions to the rule, and I think Irona is one of them.
I think you mean subjective.
And he looks at you, and you're absolutely right, but he has messed up his words and stammered, because you look at him, he is shook.
Yeah, you shouldn't be correcting the grammar of a bear.
Look. The world was very topsy-turvy until recently, and people really did think that those things were objective. So...
Regardless... Well... Okay. And he composes himself. Now, if you seek to track them down, or seek to use our aid to track them down, then paying attention to their edicts is probably going to be the best way to go about it. For example, out of all of those edicts, which ones do you think they would take front and center in their mission to get one over to restore their whatever is their end goal is? Which of their edicts would be perhaps the best tool that they could use to damage regrowth?
I see your point. Actually, the first thing I see, as you mentioned that, is the whole idea of never forgive those who have wronged you. So the moment they thought we wronged them, we were already up creek without a paddle.
Indeed.
Did you say that nightmares were still part of the domains, or is that one of the ones that fell by the wayside?
That is actually a 2E domain. That's made it over.
All right. Well, I've heard of a certain amphibian race who will attack places by weakening morale through spreading magical nightmares. So I think we want to be on guard for threats like that. It would be the easiest way to weaken us without needing to be open. If anybody's complaining of strange dreams, we'll make an immediate right away.
That sounds like a roll. But
It does.
sorry, go ahead, please, Dave.
No, I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah, that sounds like a roll of some kind, and that sounds like it's going to require some time as well. So, is this something that one of you wants to delve in for a few weeks, or, wants to make a start on this? Or is there someone in your kingdom inner circle that you potentially want to do this? Mariciel has exposed this threat. She rolled very, very well. But, yeah, this section... this part and your idea, which I like for the record, is not really her cup of tea. So, how do you think you want to tackle this then for this next stage?
It's our BFF Felix, isn't it?
Oh, I thought we were going to make Leoven do it, the most people capable.
I don't know, perhaps our druidic circle should look into the creepy cult. Lots of options.
Many options.
Yeah.
You do, and it's all a case of whether you want to tackle it or whether your allies want to tackle it. They are capable as well. For example, Lindsay's there as your viceroy.
Oh, that's a good point. We have a bard.
Tales of evil will always have like a shred of truth in them, especially in a wildlife Galarian.
Do you want to approach Lindsay then?
I think that's the best idea.
So you find Lindsay, and she, on this day, you find her just behind a desk with a candle, with her ledger, the great big massive book open, and she is chronicling the story of regrowth as a part of the agreement she had with you. By her side, you actually notice a holy symbol dedicated to Shaylin that every once in a while she just reaches over and gives a comforting, reaffirming touch to, as she looks at all of you, says, "Oh, hi! I'm just chronicling your expedition to Candlemere. Sounds like a really strange time."
Oh, it was, but let me tell you, I was so heroic. Make sure you write that down.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, the Jarl and his cape flowed in the wind as he navigated the mists of the tormented isle.
That's good, but I didn't get the kite till afterward.
I don't have to know that.
Me and
That's
you
true.
were about to say the same thing.
It's okay to take a little creative license, just give it a bit more flair, as long as the truth of the story is not corrupted.
Well, in that case, you can talk about how I whipped Nugra's past. And then he got shot in the head.
So she scribbles down as well. The Jarl took his mace and whipped the behind of the fallen druid. As he reeled from the ache to the buttocks, he looked up and realised upon the bullet that was about to strike him between the eyes. How's that
I think
sound?
it was a good shot, but close enough.
Yeah, tomato, tomato. Although, looking at the four of you, looks down at BB, 5, because even the bear looks upset today. Oh, what's wrong? I got a feeling this isn't a social call.
No?
Alas, we are here on business. We have need of...
Yes?
I was about to butter you up, and then I remembered you know full well your talents. We need someone capable of getting along with people to look into... it's a cult. It's a cult of sadists and pain givers and
Hag worshippers.
Yes, that too.
Oh, wow!
We think, well, we know or suspect they're already hiding somewhere in town.
And the
Oh,
angle we're coming at this from is that they might be making their first steps insidiously.
Indeed. We're worried they're already among us. The imposters.
well, two things. One, great tale for the book. But two, not a great tale if it has a bad ending. So, what do you need me to do? Go around the village and find out who are sus?
Exactly.
Yeah, there might be some people whose stories you can trust. Some might just be venting about other problems.
Okay, I see what I'm picking up what you're putting down here, Anden. All right.
So you're up to the task.
Well, yeah. I said I'd help you in exchange for my book, so I'm going to help you in exchange for my book. I can do this, no problem. I do also work behind a bar, you know.
I'm sure you hear plenty.
Let's see if there's anything she knows already. So she says, is there anything in particular of what you're looking for?
I think.
Nightmares.
Yes.
Nightmares. I have heard one or two people talking about how they haven't been sleeping well, but I'm not going to lie. I thought it was mostly just down to tiredness and exhaustion from putting this whole place together, you know? Building a soon-to-be marvelous settlement is it's gotta take some toll. But now that I think about it, yeah, hasn't happened often, but nightmares. And she opens another section of the book that has blank pages, and she actually tears out a piece of parchment from this blank page and starts scribbling down some notes that she's basically using as a side notepad as she's just nightmares. Can't exactly remember what they were talking about, the nightmares in question, although they did have some tales to spin, and usually when I have a nightmare, I kind of remember it for 5 minutes and then it just goes. I know that's not the case for everyone, but I can have a good proper look into this if you want, but it may be a couple of weeks before I get anything solid or concrete.
That'll be fine. And if you hear anything in the meantime of concern, you can always call an emergency meeting or something.
Sure, no problem. Do you know who are producing these nightmares? You haven't actually gave me the deets on that.
Was it Gyrona? Gyrona?
Oh, Shayla bless. Say no more, sir. Say no more. Yeah, I know tales of that literal hag.
Angry hag, actually.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm aware of her. Oh, of course. This used to be the fort. It was. Oh, yeah. And she's kind of face palming at this point of how ridiculously simple it actually all is. So like nightmares, it's like everything is tracking. It's like she just looks up and she says, "All right, yeah. Give me a couple of weeks and I will see what I can dig up." So, how do you want me to do this? Would you like me to perceive amongst the populace and just hear what I can hear? Or do you want me to actually converse? Make that impression and get to know the folks a little bit better?
I reckon the latter.
Yeah.
Just given that people would be guarded with weaknesses. It's just how people are.
Yes. I don't think it would be a bad thing to have the members of our council and otherwise being social and known in town. Part of the people.
All right then. In that case, then there's going to be a diplomacy check, which will dictate how the next few weeks will go for Lindsay. So, like last time. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dave. I beg your pardon.
Do we have to say beforehand that we are going to give her inspiration?
The hero point, yes, but like last time, how the hero point will work is it will effectively act like a fortune point. Roll twice and take the better.
I reckon this is important enough.
3 in the pool.
Yeah, it seems fair.
We've
Okay.
done a 2, but yeah, if y'all think so, let's do it.
Well, actually, I'm going to keep you at 3 because I wanted to awarded you 1 for earlier with some of your RP and also, quite frankly, 2 critical successes on downtime actions. So you're going to spend 1, but you're going to get 1 back. So you're going to stick at 3. So
But then we got to lose 1 because of the extended joke, which was horrific, and
Yeah.
probably everybody took mental damage from.
nah,
Probably.
don't worry. I'll just. It's a bit like an old school Telltale game. The GM will remember this appears in the top right-hand corner.
Okay.
That's good, guys. At the end of the day, we're all just crew members.
All right,
We're
so...
all just what?
Huh?
At the end of the day, we're all just what?
Crew members.
Oh, crew. Carry on.
Well, I don't know what you heard.
Nobody is Englishing today. But anyway, so with a fortune, let's try and see what Lindsay... Well, I'm going to know. Let's find out. All right. Okay. So, the hero point spent, but you got one from earlier, so you stick at 3. A fortune effect has been rolled, and you will find out in due course what Lindsay finds out. What's next?
I will say while we're walking, just around regrowth, just to make you all aware, the Shan family is doing something. I've received. Was it which family was it again? Was it Shan?
The Stroon, S-T-R...
The Stroon.
Yes.
Thank you. Stroon.
My family, right?
Yes. They're doing something.
That never bodes well.
Well, find out more once some associates get here.
Is this better or worse than hags?
Potentially. Worse? In a way?
I would agree.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you what, just give me a list of any of them that I need to just punch in the face if I see them at a diplomatic meeting.
Who's punching who?
Oh,
Irony walks up.
My father, if you happen to get the chance.
Oh, old Alexander Stroon. He's in a wheelchair now, you know. I feel a bit bad about punching him. I mean,
Yes, well, I look down at my crutch. I won't.
fair, very fair. Right. Spent a good few days. Yep.
Yeah, you're back from the kobolds, eh?
Ta-da! Spent a good few days with them. Yeah, just bringing in my report in if you want it.
Oh yeah, the god fella who always protects the kobold prison. Did he finally take a day off like I told him to?
Yeah, I think so. Sorry,
Oh, good.
I was a bit distracted down there because... Oh boy. Gotta love a bit of chaos, I suppose. Well, I can tell you that they've had no more trouble with the Mitflits. I don't know exactly what you did, but you gave them a serious brown pants condition. The kobolds...
Oh.
What?
Yes, carry on.
Oh, you lot are a bit slow today or something? Anyway,
It's a
so...
long day.
Tell...
I've just been moving all of my things into a new house. It's...
don't worry about it. I know. Me, had to move the wife and kid down here as well, and I know moving's not easy, so I feel ya. But regardless, the Mitflits, no more trouble with them. It looks like whatever you did scared them good and proper.
well, we
Little
killed a lot
dead,
of them.
but little dead.
Well, that's the thing about Mitflits, don't you know? They reproduce very, very fast. And I'm not talking...
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm not talking the traditional way for us humanoids either. I'm talking Fey ways. Basically, mark here for a second. If you've ever seen the movie Gremlins, it's pretty much that means and method.
I mean, Mitflits are
Pretty
a
much.
type of gremlin.
Yeah, pretty much.
There you go.
Great movies, though. Great movies. Anyway, so back into the game. Nothing.
Yeah, I think Balruk just gives a big sigh at that and just like, is there anything in this land that'll just stay dead and not try to kill us?
No.
You wanted to settle out here. What were you expecting, Balruk?
You know, I think some of them can manage one of the two.
I mean, I don't know, I knew it was going to be an adventure, right? But it'd be nice if, like, one problem we stayed solved. I don't know.
No, we kind of start at the top, and more we uncover, the worse it gets.
You must
Yeah,
have lived a
it's
lovely
really-
life in Stone Farm.
Look, Balruk, on my adventuring, travelling these lands, coming to the River Kingdoms, I discovered an old village dedicated to the last Aslanti. I found a relic in there. And the next thing I know, I've got this glowing symbol on my forehead, and my wolf has seemingly come back to life in the form of a Eidolon.
Right.
Weird happens all the time. Get used to it. It's the normal.
Well, looking into weird, I just like to, I don't know, win something.
Oh, we've won plenty.
Yeah.
Doing good.
Drawn quite a few as well.
Morgan shrugs, like, I feel like I'm not getting this out quite right. I don't know.
Yeah, the irony just looks at you guys. You haven't lost yet, have you?
No, not quite, but,
We got a draw. That wasn't the best.
When did we get a draw?
how about this?
The soot scale caverns with the slimy guy.
I don't know, it just
Ow.
feels like no matter how many opponents we beat, the stronger we get, the stronger everything else just gets. That's all I'm saying.
Welcome to the stolen lands, irony just says with a chuckle. Look, anyway, you
I was
probably...
going to say that's how games work.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly what reference is making. That's a game balancing reference.
Hey, anybody who knows this game knows who the final boss of this game is, so they're probably laughing at Jack right around now.
I have no idea.
I don't like the sound of that.
They're great.
Oh, let's just put it this way. With these games, it's not about getting to the end, it's about the journey. But in this case, I so want us to get to the end because of... yeah. But anyway, Irony just turns around and goes, well, here's the thing. The soot scales are as chaotic as ever. And it seems like they have fallen back into old shark tooth worship.
Not surprising.
However, Chief Sootscale is being very, very on the ball with it, I suppose. He is heavily opposing the worship. He's encouraging it. He said to me that it's been a part of them for such a long time now, but he's kind of making sure another Artak happens.
Doesn't happen, you mean, right?
But there is a bit of good news from them. They did get wind of your old pal Tartuccio.
Oh?
Now, it's not much, and it's inconclusive, but they went looking for him themselves, and they found two sets of tracks. One you already know that I told you about, heading west into the Nile marshes, but also south as well. Apparently they found tracks of Tartuccio heading south into the Selen Hills. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. The kobolds, not bad trackers, but I'm not going to lie, I don't put a lot of faith in the skill from what I saw. But there's two potential possible directions where your old friend has potentially gone. Oh, there is one more thing though. Apparently, in the Carmelands region, so soot scales have been milling around. Apparently, they have also seen sights of goblins in the region.
I almost don't mind. Goblins are practically civilized compared to half of the people we meet.
That's true. We should probably try to seek out these goblins and have a chat before they get the wrong idea or something.
Agreed.
Well, I must admit, I don't know much about the goblins of the region. I've heard a little bit about them, but apparently, well, I don't know whether this is a good thing or a bad thing in terms of negotiation. But because I rolled pretty well as well, The Soot Scales told me that the kobolds of this region are Lamashtu worshippers.
The goblins, you mean?
Ow.
Yes.
Fuck.
Can't we just get someone who worships someone nice for once?
I'm sure there are benefits to the marsh too. Right?
To be fair, if you live in the stolen lands, you probably do worship something nasty.
However,
Like, can you name one? Like a benefit?
Me?
Yeah.
Look, I said I'm sure there are, not that I can think of them.
look, the only thing I'm going to warn you about, says Irony, is according to the kobolds, they come from the south, near the Selene Hills, if not the Selene Hills region. I wouldn't go down there yet if I were you. What you get down there, let's put it this way. I've even been in parties before, and we've always used stealth down there because some of the things you find down there, not very nice. You lot are tough. I'm not quite sure if you're ready for the Selene Hills yet.
Right, that's fair. We are going to have to look into this at some point, though.
Well, apparently,
We have more pressing problems.
well, like I said, they're making excursions up north for whatever reason, and they've been spotted by the Soot Scales.
Hold on, you don't think there's a chance that Toltucci is doing the same damn thing to the goblins he tried to do to the kobolds?
Probably.
I am upset by how likely that sounds.
It's very likely.
Well then,
Holy.
if there's anything else you need from me, I think I'm going to get back to the wife and kid.
Alright, take care. Always.
Here's a thought. Have
Oh,
we
is it-
heard
Good.
anything about that demon that was in there?
You're talking
You're
that?
going to have to specify, dear.
You're
The
talking to,
demon in the Soot Scales guy. The person they were worshipping before.
Old Sharktooth.
oh, the devil.
No, it was an old shark tooth that was worshipping someone else.
No, that was old Sharktooth.
Oh, yeah,
Was it old shark tooth?
it was old Sharktooth. Yeah.
It was old shark tooth. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Are you saying this to Irony?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's what he mentioned about how old Sharktooth worship has once again become a thing in the kobolds day to day, but Chief Sootscale is making sure another Artak doesn't happen. But they're still doing
wondering
it.
about that whole, guy kind of didn't die, kind of sacrificed himself thing.
That we've got no leads.
Got no lead on that one. No.
Nope.
So what is next for the party then?
Well, I suppose another week of downtime, like we talked about.
I can't find our quest log.
Oh, it should be in journal right at the bottom.
Yes, under the journal
Thank
tab.
you.
Yeah, it's under the journal tab. You could potentially wait for more revelations on more than one enemy, or you can try and get out there and find out what happened to your horses. Or you can Kingmaker. You could get back out there into the stolen lands, doing a little bit of exploration, and who knows what you might find.
I'm down for just checking out the hexes sort of to the west and the southwest of the Old Baldane, just to find out the scope of the trolls.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
I'm down for that too.
Sounds
Do we
fair.
want to take the downtime for Isobella to get her ammunition?
Yeah,
We do
but-
some shopping as well, some specialized fire.
I definitely recommend we take that extra week because then I will have a lot more answers to the trolls.
I think that's good anyway, because I don't know if it looks particularly good, even if we're out flooding the stolen lands, if, the leadership is just gone all the time.
Well,
So
it's
taking 2 weeks, helping establish, the kingdom and all, and then we go out expeditioning is probably...
Well, I actually looked into that for the book, because I must admit, when I was studying other APs, actual plays, in preparation for me starting this game and reading the book, I think this is why you have your, let's call it a council for the sake of ease. I think this is why you have your council on the kingdom party sheet, because I think what the idea generally is you go out, adventure for a month, and then there's a kingdom turn. And I think what the general flow is, it's kind of like that sort of divide, like you spend a few weeks to a month during a kingdom turn, and then you get back out there and then you explore for a month as well. So I think that's how the general balance is. So the folks do see you, but at the same time, they know, in particular with you 5, you have got to get stuff done. And, well, these stolen lands, especially if regrowth is going to grow, is going to, well, however you want to put it, be discovered, be tamed, have these threats sorted out, or, negotiated with, however you want to go about it. So the people, they get it. They do get it.
I would recommend as well, whenever we go trekking, maybe we can bring Irony with us, if he's willing to come.
What, do you want to take him on this current excursion?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If the party likes that.
I'm sorry, take who?
Irony.
Irony, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to. Having this week, yeah, there are fire-based preparations that we can make nicely. Because if we're going to take on a very strong foe with a very obvious weakness, we can make use of the money that we've accrued in a specific way. Necklace of Fireballs, level 5 item. Interesting.
I see potential.
That would have to be an order from Restov for sure, but I can retroactively say that you put in the shopping order with Isobella, because you know you got trolls to deal with. The only thing that Irony will say to you if you approach him about him coming out on your next expedition with you is he will turn around and say, right, I'm down for it, please don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna lie, I look at your gear and I see that you have striking runes, and well, I got an enhancement rune here for my bow and for my short sword, but I know my capabilities, but I don't always like to rely on Kiva.
I remember the problem. Their level is based on the...
Oh, the level.
Their level doesn't go up with ours.
Right.
Sorry, so that makes them what level? Just level 1?
He's 4.
Level 4, yeah.
You can do striking. You can do striking at level 4.
Yeah, but it's he doesn't have it.
Yeah,
He doesn't have it yet, so.
I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to whack a striking rune on Irony's bow, you're going to have to pay for it.
Yeah,
That tracks.
Yeah, I don't think we can afford that easily anyway.
I mean, he is a summoner, so he does have Kiva, and he can power Kiva up with his cantrips and whatnot.
He would need
hand wraps of striking
hand
for
wraps.
Kiva. Yep.
Yeah. He uses bow. That's actually kind of superficial in terms of like his output compared to having striking for himself and his Eidolon through the gloves. He should probably just punch people.
Yeah, I know, but this is also the character of the man.
Yeah.
He was.
I mean, if you're saying he can share the striking rune with his bow and his eidolon. Cool. But we're not buying two.
Well, in that case, then, if you propose that to him about the hand wraps, he'll turn around and he'll say the following. I don't know much about my powers. Are you sure? And he's asking. And you can say, I know it's a bit metagamey, but you can say that you actually know in character as well, your updated levels. So he says, so are you sure if I put on these hand wraps as they're connected to me, Kiva shares my strength?
Your eidolon is an extension of yourself. If you think about the way that she fights, her claws are your hands.
Well,
even if you're not using them to swipe, she needs them.
Well,
What she does.
I see your point. However, very well, but I'm not going to lie. It will take me some used to this whole thing with Kiva and I. It hasn't been that long. You know, this is still new to me. I've got some experience under my belt, but it's going to be adjustment, throwing him in the way all the time. We always used to work in tandem, but I'll do it, Anden. I'll do it. It's just I'm not used to. Yeah, it's going to be new for me. That's all I'm saying.
New things are like the spice of life, right?
I suppose.
Don't forget, she'll come back every time. And I look over at BB and I just kind of have a sort of sad but kind of resigned but kind of still smiling at him face. Like, yeah, your eidolon comes back. BB gets hurt.
No,
that's that.
He catches that. And irony's Hunter's, referring to him with his real name, Hunter's face just... Oh, Anden, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to...
My first time as a parent.
I know things are different now between me and him, between me and Kiva, but a bit like you and BB, we wandered hundreds of miles to get here. We saw the entirety of the hold of Belkzen, dodging orcs as we went. We proceeded into Varisia, visited Janderhof, Korvosa, then got on a boat. I don't know why I wanted to see Riddleport, but I did. Headed south then, Magdamar. Nice little village called Sandpoint. And seeded up, back through Varisia, all the territory.
That's the one with the wall, isn't it? The old light.
Yeah, there's a lot of Thessalonian ruins in Varisia. Powerful empire, something. It's a bit like the River Kingdoms. It's a largely well, more than what it was, but Varisia is still vastly unexplored. Anyway, we did all those miles and we came here, ended up in the River Kingdoms, and Kiva then passed. Look, what I'm getting at here is, I get it. I've been through it, we went through it, and now the relationship's different, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean any offense to you or Bramblebeard.
It was more about, you know, you're lucky in a way. You work it out, the two of you.
His head drops. I hope so, because there are times where I can feel Kiva and he just wishes to rest. What the hells was that thing at that old Eridan temple? That's neither here or there, though. Listen, if you need me, then I advise your decision to help me out, empower my attacks and Kiva's attacks a little bit. But if not, we're still good to go, and we are willing.
Okay, I think we just gotta think about that.
Yeah, because we have to get a
Because-
trekking room.
If we've got to gear up our dudes every time we take someone out for a specific mission, we are going to run out of money incredibly quickly.
We're already almost out of money.
And that's the game balance.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
They
100%.
when the kingdom does level up, they will naturally power up. I will give them a gear that's in line with the automatic bonus progression system, because the great thing about the APB is it gives you a rough guidelines of what your player characters should roughly have at what levels. So your NPC companions, when they level up, they will get a sort of like equivalent gear in accordance to what the APB rules out. But if you need them for something sooner, then you're gonna have to fork. That's the balance. All right. So, with decisions to be made, downtime to be had, and a bit of a lore session for today, I think that's where we'll close Kingmaker, as it looks like a plan of action has been established. And I think next time, we're getting back out there finally. Are you all ready to Kingmaker? Some Kingmaker and Kingmaker some more?
Yeah. Exploration.
Let's go out and encounter things. Violence in the name of prosperity and regrowth.
And regrowth.
In the name of prosperity and regrowth. Sounds like a role-playing game, doesn't it? Until next time, folks, on behalf of myself and the pie, y'all take care of yourselves, and we'll see you for some more Kingmaker very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.